fresh off the G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios, episode number 39. Every day, as each day goes on, I have a little different background going on, as you can tell. Switching things up, adding more stuff to our home studio as time goes on. Got a new eSIM monitor, eSIM 27-inch true 4K Ultra HD art monitor, specifically for art, color grading, editing photos, editing videos. Got that set up on my unboxing desk here. If you can look down here by my microphone, I'm joined today, special guest on our podcast, our cat. Her name is Kitty. We have merchandise, eSIM Studio shirts down below if you want to grab one of those. Fit very nice, very good fabric. I'll go ahead and get started. We got a bunch of news. Give me a second. Let me sinuses are so bad. Hang on one second. Hey, Daniel, what's going on? Meow. Yes. They do whatever they want to do. So she said she wanted to join in on the. She wanted to be a special guest. So I said, all right. Hang on. Really bad. Okay. I did an unboxing on that I'm going to, in a setup because you can run picture-in-picture. You can run. It's a not ultra wide. It is a wide, but you can do side by side. Basically, split two screens. You can have one screen on the left, one screen on the right, coming from the same source. So we have that unboxing and setup that I need to put out. I have the Firebat mini PC that I'm running it off of. Then I have the unboxing and kind of setup as well that I'm going to put out. And away we go. Now, I'm also going to add... Hey, what's going on, Auntie? I'm going to add more panels back here. I'm actually going to do it all the way across the back of the room. So with each live stream, with each video, may have a little different look as far as where I angle it, because I have some crap over here. I actually have another monitor, a 43-inch ultra high definition monitor that I'm going to put in this corner. So when I do videos, it'll be from different angles, right? I think sometimes just giving you, the viewer, something a little different every time you view a video, whether it's live streaming or whether it's a uploaded content, right? So as that continues on, so do we. So I actually went to sleep last night, decent time. However, I woke up in the middle of the night, right? I had to take a piss, and I was like, I was sitting there thinking, not sitting there, but I don't sit down to pee. But I was thinking, I was like, I knew something was going on this morning and I couldn't figure it out. And then before I laid back down, I glanced at my phone, looked at my notifications, boom, nothing is live. I was like, holy shit, they're gonna launch the 2A. Now I went live our time around, I think it was 5 a.m. and they actually held the launch date or the launch event in New Delhi in India. They are manufacturing their phones in India. That's a huge market for nothing. So I was like, well, let me stay up and watch it. So I basically stayed up from 5 to 6:30. Went to bed around 7 again. Long story short, looks like a good phone. However, it does have some limitations if you're interested in purchasing it and you're in the United States, right? We will jump into it. We'll jump into the specs. We'll jump into how you get one. We will jump into comparisons. If you're in the market for a mid-range phone, we will look at possible other devices you can get other than the Nothing Phone 2A. And the big head-to-head battle, as I have on our thumbnail, is the Phone 2A versus the upcoming Pixel 8A. Similar in some ways, similar not. We will break it down. We will definitely break it down. Now, I was thinking of a new segment called Freestyle. Not necessarily a segment, but So I have an Android app here on my Windows computer. By the way, if you run Android subsystem, so if you can run Android apps on a Windows PC, you just have to set it up. I got news today, and I use it every day. I love it. So I have my Android apps on my phone, Android apps on my computer. They sync perfectly, work perfectly. Got news today, Windows 11, this time next year, March 5th of 2025, Microsoft is dropping support for Android apps on Windows. Sucks. So I got one more year of trying to figure out what to do after that. I'm sure there's going to be a workaround. As you know, people always got to work around for all sorts of stuff. So I'll try to figure. I have a year to figure that out. So that was released today. Windows is dropping support for Android apps this time, literally a year from today. But so here's what I'm going to do. I have this Android app, right? This is what I do for my news, little behind the scenes. So I'll go on my Android or my tech news app on my Windows computer. I'll pull the news and then I'll plug them into the show, right? But I was thinking about doing this, maybe just doing like a freestyle. Because here, check this out. Hang on, damn it! I can't share the screen. Okay, so this is my Android app here with all my news, Android news, right? Yeah, I know. I thought this same exact thing. I was like, wait a second. They're actually, check this out. Did you see the latest benchmark scores and performance from the new ARM Windows chips? They look really good. In fact, really good. Really good. In fact, I think there were some of them were even benchmarked better than M1 or M2 chips from Apple. Yeah, I have no idea. It must be a licensing agreement, because check it out. When you install, how you set up I can't wait. I'm going to grab probably one of the first laptops of it. Well, not unless it's a shitty one. Well, look, I love Samsung phones. I stay away from Samsung computers. But if it's like, and same thing with Dell, right? But, well, the XPS is good. But I'll probably get like a Lenovo or an HP, right? If they come out with one of those Snapdragon CPUs, Windows. But to run Android apps on Windows at the moment, you have to install Amazon App Store. And then through the Amazon App Store, you can download APKs, install them just like you install them on your phone. And I don't know why they would end support for that. Damn it. Hang on. They moved my mom again from a different hospital, so... Yeah, so I would think with the ARM, I think it's a licensing deal. And remember we talked about, what was it, last week? I don't know if this is the case. Remember, Amazon is dropping Android for their Fire devices, Fire Stick, Firebox. I wonder if they're trying to cut all ties with Android, because remember, their App Store has apps that are in the APK file system or subsystem, whatever you want to call it. So I think it has something to do with that. Now that I, process it, I literally just saw that news before I hit live. I think it might have something to do with that. I think Amazon's cutting all ties with Google. And again, to get Android apps on your Windows PC, you have to download and install the Amazon App Store. And then through the Amazon App Store, you can download and install APKs onto your Windows PC. I think it has something to do with that. There'll be a workaround. It gives the developers a year to figure something out. So anyways, here's the app that I use. Basically, it compiles. Check this out. It's so cool. It's not on the App Store. It's an APK. It used to be on the Play Store, but it's not anymore. So check this out. It pulls, in a little behind the scenes, I'm actually trying to develop my own app on my own. to basically reincorporate this app, because this app runs on 32-bit process architecture. This app, Flowly, will not install on my Pixel 8 Pro, will not install on any of my Samsung devices. It only works on my Nothing Phone 2. Nothing Phone 2 runs a Snapdragon 8 Gen Plus 1, which was, I think, the last year of 32-bit, if I'm not mistaken. So it won't install on any other device than my Nothing Phone 2, but I did get it on here. But I was thinking about making my own app on these, obviously the 64-bit, what do you want to call it, architecture or background, but it pulls news, and it's a simple RSS feed. It's just so easy to make an app like this, and that's what I've been trying to do, just having a time. Pulls all this news from all these top places here. It kind of scrolls really fast. It pulls all the news from here and it compiles it into one feed. All right. So I was thinking about doing a not today, but going down the Android news and picking out stuff that looks interesting to talk about. I'll probably do that when I'm running behind, right? And I don't have time to look for stories. Always find something here. And then, like, once you select something, you can favorite it. You can copy the link. You can delete it from your feed, translate it, share it. Really cool. Anyways, okay. So the Phone 2a looks cool. I'm down with it. And the only reservations I have is the CPU. Now, I think it should be okay since it's more of a custom CPU, but here's the deal. When they showed the performance of the CPU, they showed the benchmark scores. Now, they showed it against the last gen, because this is a custom chip, right? MediaTek 7200, quote unquote Pro. The Pro version was the Nothing and MediaTek getting together to forming this. It's basically the 7200 just overclocked, right? So they showed it's 73% faster than the Phone 1. It's 32% faster than the regular MediaTek 7200. But that's it. They didn't show any other phone, and they didn't show what benchmarking application they used, right? They didn't show the scores either. It just showed percentages better than the Phone 1 and the previous gen of the 7200. I think it'll be okay, but that did look a little shady, because that's the first thing I thought about when it popped up on the screen. I was like, well, what's the score? Where'd they bench it on? And why don't they have it compared to the Pixel 7a, the A55, even the OnePlus 12R? Now, that's technically a mid-range, but I don't think it's that fair of a fight. It's more of a powerhouse mid-range, but we'll get into it, right? So what are the specs? It looks cool. Now, actually, they have 3 different colors. 1 black, 2 whites. Now, one of the white is an off-white, like a, I don't even know, cream white, and then a clear see-through back white like the Phone 2. Looks pretty cool. Hang on. God damn it. Let me get out of here. Making apps is so easy nowadays. I didn't realize how easy. I looked into it a couple years ago, and then about a month ago, made an account on it, started toying around with it, and I was like, wow, I think I can really do this. Let's see. So I've been working on that, and then 2 other apps, or 1 website. Actually, take it back. 2 websites, 2 apps, and then a news app. So staying very, 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 very busy. Okay, so let me go to the news, and I'll tell you, look, if you're interested in getting one, they said it's not available for the US, which is not entirely true, and we'll get into it, right? So, hang on, is this all I'm missing a tab, no? This is not going to be good for the playback. Let me change this damn music. This shit gets tired after a while. Okay. I am missing a tab. So, and there's some discretions on the price, because check it out. I released when I did a community post, and I put the price out of the 2A. It said on the screen, they're launching. It had the prices, the base prices in rupees, which is in India. They had the base price in US dollars, and then they had it in something else, won or yen or something. And for the US dollars, it said $329, and it said for the 12 gig 128 model. And I was like, 12 gig 128, that's weird. Because usually when you get a 12 gig, it's the bumped up storage, right? So I was like, in $329, I was like, damn, that's pretty cheap. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I put out a community post with those prices. Today, I see something different. I'm like, what the hell? It's going to be cheap nonetheless. I think it starts out at $329, $349, but I believe that was for the one. I think they got it mixed up. I think that was for the 8 gig 128, starts at $329 US dollars. Let's see. Oh, Daniel, check this. If you're still watching, they did say the only other way, if the developers did not find another workaround to installing APKs on a Windows device, is Phone Link. Now, I'm not too wild about Phone Link. It's a startup app that I just removed as a startup app on my computer. I'm not too wild about it. You can cast your screen to the Windows computer, right? Any app, but it's a little box here. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plus your phone it casts any app from your phone, so it's not like Dex where you can still use your phone while it's displaying something on the other screen. It's sort of like you have to, it's less usable in my opinion. So I think somebody will figure out a way to get Android apps back on these PCs. But I think Phone 2A, I think it is a very important device that should be talked about. Now, it's not going to break any benchmarking tests, which you have to understand that. But remember, if they do it right, just like Google did with the Pixel 8 Pro, right? They're not breaking any benchmark records with this Tensor chip. Hell, the Nothing Phone 2 with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 CPU scored better in benchmarks than the Pixel 8 Pro, right? So, but when you use the Pixel 8 Pro, you can't tell. Now, I don't play games. I don't do a bunch of GPU intensive tasks on my devices, but I do a lot of multitasking. I got a ton of apps open in the background. Runs buttery smooth. So, depending on what you're going to use it for, I think in my case, I think the Phone 2A would be perfect, right? I don't think there would be much glitching, I think multitasking would be fine, especially if you get the 12 gig variant. Now, they did say you can also add 8 gigs of virtual RAM on there, right? But it does come in storage variants, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and then 12 gigs of RAM, 256. And I don't believe it goes any higher. It's just 8. I thought there was 3 storage variants. I thought I saw 8, 128. I thought I saw 12 and 256. Then I thought I saw another 12, 512. But it looks like this article is just saying 256 is the highest. And prices are $329 for the smaller one, and smaller storage, and $379 for the larger option, right? Pre-orders are open today, and the phone will ship on March the 12th, here in a week. The 256 variant will be sold in the US for $349, but there's a catch. It's only available through the developer program, and the phone doesn't fully support our networks. That's because nothing has created a device that really stands out from the crowd. So what they're doing with this It's available in across the world, except in the United States, with a catch. Thank God they're issuing the 256 gig variant, because I would be severely bummed out if they were just selling it in their developer program with the 128 gig storage. So if you remember the Phone 1 was not sold in the US. It was sold worldwide first. It got so much fanfare, it got so much attention online, specifically from people in the United States, that they decided to open up a quote-unquote developer program where you can basically, you don't have to be a developer, right? But you could test it out. But it was, I think, their beta program, I think is what they called it. I think basically, it's like running beta software. They'll give you a phone. Now, you got to pay for it, but they're basically, using the phone with beta software. Now, that got a lot of good attention, and that sold out within a month or two, all their U.S. stock. And then, with the Phone 2, then they released fully in the United States, right? Now, with this one, it looks like they're going to do the same thing, from what I understand. I'm actually in their developer program, and I've actually was online this morning trying to find a way to purchase this device, but it's not available. At least right now, as of the second, it's not available. And anybody can do it, right? At least, look, if they follow the same guidelines from the Phone 1 that was in their quote-unquote beta program, anybody can buy it. I actually went to go order one, and they were sold out. So this time, I'm going to do the opposite. Instead of waiting too late, I'm gonna purchase it as fast as I can. Now, there's not too many details on this, so I'm assuming they're going to follow the same deal, the same route as with the Phone 1 here in the US. Now, there is a catch that does not now, the Phone 1, if you purchased it in the developer program, right, and you were in the United States, I don't believe it worked on Verizon, and it was missing some other bands from other carriers. This Phone 2A will work on Verizon, will work on all US carriers. However, it does not support the full array of bands and frequencies in its modem. But I'm assuming you will pick up maybe one 5G band. I'm assuming if you're using Verizon, it'll basically catch most of the 4G bands, LTE bands, and maybe one 5G band. It'll fully work on T-Mobile, from what I understand, and AT&T, I believe, somewhere right in between. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, you're on Verizon? Yeah. I actually have, when I get mine, look, when they have their beta program, it's available for they'll have it for 3 or 4 months, or until it sells out, right? With this one, I'm assuming it's going to go quick. I have a Verizon, I got a couple Verizon SIMs around here. Plus, I can also download, you can try Verizon's network, I think for 7 days or 2 weeks or a month, something like that. We can download an eSIM. Google Fi has one of those trial systems. T-Mobile has one of those. I'll do that. I think that's a good question. I will download an eSIM on there from Verizon, since we know Verizon is the carrier that not fully supporting all of the bands. I'll go ahead and download an eSIM, get on a trial, and see if it'll work, right? But it looks cool. Now, I did have some hesitation with the CPU, although I think it should be fine, at least for what I do. If I was a heavy gamer, I might be a little wary of getting it. But the cameras. So, it has the same sensors as the Phone 2. Same pair of 50 megapixel sensors on the back. But I saw some photo samples, and they don't look as good. These, now, look, I gave this phone a ton of shit when it first came out. I dogged this phone when it came out for the phone quality, for the picture quality. Over the months, with each update, got better and better and better and better and better. And then they solved the audio issue that I was having with videos. And I think the photo quality, look, it wasn't trash, but you have to remember, this is not a flagship device. This is a seemingly bottom of the barrel. Well, I say bottom of the barrel, but if you can buy a phone for $329, it's pretty freaking cheap. Well, I guess fully loaded would be what, $349, $379. Still, it's pretty freaking cheap. I would think that they would improve with the photo quality over time, the sensors on there, software, stuff like that. At least I would think so. That's what they did with this phone, so why wouldn't they do anything else with their other device, right? So it's got a 6.7 inch 120 hertz OLED display, Gorilla Glass 5. Now it has glass on the front, obviously Gorilla Glass 5, but it has polycarbonate on the back. So not glass like this is, but polycarbonate, which may have, has some benefits. It won't break as easy. It has a 1080p plus front screen, 6.7 inch. We just went over it. No LTPO, right? Got to keep the cost down. 1080p plus. So this is the resolution. It's pretty good. That's what this is, right? I believe so. There's no Quad HD on here, is there? I got so many phones I can't remember. I think it's the same display. Let's see, just not LTPO. Yeah, so this is a 1080p plus display, HDR display. Fine, works fine with me. It looks similar, feels similar. The sensors are so much alike that even the front selfie camera is the same. 32 megapixels here on the 2, and the new 2A will have a 32 megapixel selfie front-facing camera. Let's see, the glyphs, as everybody's known, nothing by, will have a set of 3 glyphs not around the wireless charging. It does skip out on wireless charging, but they do have their glyphs wrapped around the NFC tag that is see-through right up here. NFC tag up here, you got 3 lights, 1, 2, and then a third right down there on the bottom left. Looks pretty cool, right? Their black one has like a tinted black panel. So here's what I think they're gonna do, and here's why I made that thumbnail that I did. On my thumbnail, I got the 2A versus the Pixel 8A. So I guess technically what I should have done is put the Nothing Phone 3A versus the Pixel 8A. But, just for news purposes and relevance, I put the 2A. Because I think if they're going to follow the same footprint as they are with their flagship device, well, one was not a flagship, but with their 2 and seemingly moving forward, as we mentioned, the 1 wasn't released in the US, 2 was. This 2A is not going to be released in the US officially, and I think the 3A will be official worldwide. So I think now it may not be a true statement or maybe wishful thinking, because we got news that the Pixel 8A price is going to go up again. Yes, again. But what does that mean? It probably means better specs. Let's see, is that it for the 2A? You can pre-order it now. If you're watching, we do have a lot of viewers in India, believe it or not. So you can buy it there. I think you can buy it on Flipkart. Let me see. And if you're in the US and you try to buy one on Flipkart, it'll let you add it to your cart. And when it's time to pay, they say, I tried it. Flipkart. Did they got the 2A? They had the 2A front and center last night or this morning. Let's see. Xiaomi, Vivo. Oh, it's right here. Check it out. It's right here. So it says coming soon, right? Now, if you're in the US, unfortunately, they won't let you buy it. I'm sure you could, but here's the deal. You could change your IP address. You could mask it to somewhere in India, but then when you ship it, that's where you get caught up, because I've tried it. I've tried that too. You're like, I'll change my IP address to somewhere, not on this phone, but on another phone about 6 months ago. Like, they let me through. It's like, sweet. And then when it comes time to delivery, put your address in the United States. No. So unless you know somebody overseas, you can, or just wait, and I will let you know when it gets available in the developer program. And soon as we get one, I'm definitely get one, 1000%. When I get one, I'll test all the carriers on there and see what we can get working and what not. But pretty cool, nice little phone that Carl Pay and Nothing put together. Definitely support what they're doing. They're needed in the mobile technology world. Disruptors like this make everything better for us, the end user. So it puts pressure on Google. This comes in, getting a lot of fanfare. This puts pressure on. Now, whether you want to debate a lot of pressure, a little pressure, some, maybe not. Regardless, pressure, whether it's a lot of pressure or a little bit pressure on OnePlus, on Samsung, on Pixel, right? Hell, even iPhone. iPhone's coming out with their new iPhone SE, SE4. You know, that's competition. I mean, I can't imagine anybody. Well, I take that back. Some people might, but puts pressure on everybody. That's a pretty cheap. I thought it was going to come right at $400, and it shot way under my estimations. $329 starting price, pretty freaking cheap for a device. So, speaking of the 8A, now once this does get released, in the Pixel 8As, look, the Pixel 8A, we just got news today. Check this out. We got pricing, we got storage increase, price increase, colors just right now. So the Pixel 8A is going to be released here in what is it? Just a couple months, right? July? May? When's I/O? May, June, something like that. Finally, they must be watching my videos. I've been harping on Google to increase their storage limit on these Pixel A series devices to 256 because 128 is just not cutting it for anybody. Even a older person using their phone, it's not cutting it. I got 512 gigs on my newer phones, and you know, the way I'm going, I'll blow through past that in a couple months. So 128 is not doable now. So they're bumping up the storage, thank God, which might see a 20 to 25, possibly a $50 increase. Because their storage costs are a little more, so we got to pay a little more for the storage, right? Let's see what the estimations are. Now, we did get colors. We didn't get any pictures, though, did we? Now, we're going to go over this, and then we'll tell you how that fits in their roadmap, because they're going to have some changes coming to their lineup. So they're going to have it Obsidian, Porcelain, Mint, and Bay. Okay, well, those are good colors. They're going to have it in white. They're going to have it in black, white, green, and blue. I think those are the four best colors that they offer. I did like that orange color, but what the 7A had, or coral. But the mint looks badass, and the Pixel 8 Pro, this blue looks badass. So I think that's a very good decision by them. Now let's see. The Obsidian model looks like it'll come with 128 or 256. Well, why they do that? And then the other colors are only going to have 128. So only the black version will have 256. What a bummer. I don't know why I don't know why they do this. They're shooting themselves in the foot when they do this. I know it's because they want to keep the SKUs down, the models down. It's probably overall to cut costs, and the numbers say the majority of people that upgrade storage choose, the color black, right, or Obsidian. So I know they have a reason for doing this. I just don't like it, right? Let's see. Early info could change before launch. However, retail listings, damn, that sucks. For pricing, no, it'll still have 8 gigs of RAM. For pricing, it shows, what is that, a C with 2 lines in it? I don't even know what that is. For 128, 256, let's see, they currently, that's German. Let's see. So they currently sell the Pixel 7a for $499. So that means that when it's converted to US dollars, so that means you're looking to pay, like $550 for a 256 variant. Now, I would like to see them release all their phones all at one time, or at least with the current Tensor chip. So we know that it looks like they're going to hold back the Pixel Fold, push that launch back date to release with the new Pixel 9 series, and that will have the new Tensor G4 chip. I wish. Now look, I would understand it if they still release the 8A with the Tensor G3 in there, but I would like to see them release all their mobile phones across the board, all on one day, all with the same chip. Kind of getting tired of, look, we are fortunate that they are releasing a mid-range phone with a quote-unquote flagship CPU, but I would like to see it get the latest and greatest, as Apple does with their SE. They throw their Bionic chips in there. They manufacture it. They make it. So why not? Put your latest and greatest in there and be proud, right? Show off what you got. So, but it looks like, look, because here's where things get foggy. Because when you start playing with prices, because they did stay at, what was like the Pixel 3a and 4a? Do y'all remember? I think the Pixel... Because here's what they're doing. Because just in these last two releases, they're drastically increasing the price. When you bump up $50 and you've had a steady price range for the last 3 or 4 years, and then you bump it up $50, and then this year you bump it up another $50. Once you start fluctuating the price or slowly increasing that price over time, you start to get out of the mid-range spec. You start to move into another sector, right? So again, price is the number one factor anybody looks at when it comes down to purchasing something. Gotta be careful, because then you start creeping up on your flagship devices, right? But I think this is their game plan, and we've seen their roadmap. I think I showed it a couple weeks ago, the roadmap. So they're going to release like 3 devices this upcoming year. Phones, not including the Fold. That's separate. So they're going to have basically a Pro version, a big Pro version like this, like the 8 Pro. They're going to have a large, big Pro phone. Assumingly it's the Pixel 9 Pro. And then they're going to have a smaller Pro version. I don't know what they're going to call that. I'm assuming just the Pixel 9, but it will have their flagship Pro specs in it. And then I think their smaller, cheaper device is going to be the A series, which should only see maybe a $50 to $100, probably about $150 price variation between those 3 devices, right? Because again, you don't want to infringe on your next levels, right? You got to have different segments for different types of people and their needs and how much they're willing to pay for each device. So I don't know. I saw that price increase and I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a quote unquote like their Phone 1. It's a beta program, so it's not like you can. I don't even think you can return it, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I think you can return it from within like 30 days or whatever, but after that, I don't think there's much you can do. So yeah, it is basically for developers. Or people like myself that just gotta have one. I do have Google Fi too, so I could throw that in there. We'll see. We'll test it out, and we will see. So let's check out the alternatives. Now, to be completely honest with you, I wouldn't touch. Now, minus the Pixel 7a. That's a good phone. 6a, I don't recommend. 5a, I don't recommend, or I could not recommend the 5a or the 6a. We had major issues with our 6a. And the 5a was just, no, it wasn't it. 7a, boom, that's when they hit it out of the park. That's when they added the 8 gigs of RAM. 7a is a badass phone. This 8a shall be another badass phone. Any of these other mid-range phones, I'm not touching. I've tried to go the mid-range route. It's not for me. I get so frustrated. I want to throw my phone against the wall. I need my stuff to go. Let's move. I may look a little slow behind your screen, but up here I'm moving super fast. So, or at least I try to be. Or my phones are. I got all sorts of stuff going on in the background. Oh, no, I got to go here. No, I got to go there. I need my phones to be super fast, snappy. I need good, beautiful display. I need really good pictures, really good videos. I record my live stream and all my videos from my cell phones. I can't have a shitty camera. I don't touch mid-range phones. Now, if you do, that's fine. They make different phones for different people. I'm not, raining on your parade or saying you're making a bad choice. I'm talking about myself. If I didn't have this specific interest, if I didn't have this YouTube channel, if I was working in an office a 9 to 5 every day and didn't really have that much interest in technology, I probably would be okay with a mid-range phone. That's what intrigues me so much about this 2A. It's so cheap. Yet it looks almost too good to be true. So I'm kind of like, well, what's the catch? It looks buttery smooth, very fast, fluid operating system. That I don't get with the Samsung A series. I don't get with the Motorola G series. Pixel 7a still, pretty snappy, although it is using older UFS storage. That's the other thing. You know what? Let me see what the 2A is using in UFS storage, because they didn't mention that. It's probably where they cut costs, right? Let's see. I always go to GSM Arena for whenever I need specs. I love this website, man. They give you all the specs. No fluff. So here's the network, normal consumer. If you're interested in, let's see, bands. So we'll have GSM, HSPA, LTE, 5G. And here are the bands. So 5G bands, it does carry most T-Mobile. In fact, I think it has all T-Mobile 5G bands. No, it's missing 4. Anyways, I'm going to leave. If you want the dialed in, very specific specifications of the Phone 2A, I'm going to link this phone description in the description box so you can click it and check out all the specs on this device. Let's look at the UFS storage real quick. Where are we at? Let's see, UFS. Did I miss it? It doesn't say, does it? Usually it's in memory right here. Oh well. When we get ours, we'll check it. But yeah, probably UFS. I don't know. Probably still 3.1 or 3.0, I bet. Okay, no big deal. But going back to Pixel. Yeah, but here's a list of the alternatives. So you got the 7A, good phone, definitely a good alternative. You got the Samsung Galaxy A54. Whenever my flagship Samsung devices, I have no issues. The mid-range Samsung devices always create lag for whatever reason. Now, it's not right off the bat. It's after I use it a little bit. It just didn't seem as snappy. The display's just not hitting right. Motorola, I can't do Motorola anymore. I used to love using their devices back in the day. I just can't right now. I would say the only strong competitor would be the A series. Now, maybe I'm completely wrong. I haven't tried what did I have? The A53. Tried an A53 one time. Not doing good, right? Let's see. Oh, the other thing you need to take in consideration is the updates. Only 3 years of Android software updates. Now it launches with 14, so it'll get 15, 16, 17, and then it has 4 years of security patches. Just keep that in mind. Most other, well, not on their mid-range devices, but you know, I was like, damn, that seems really low, and I started thinking about, well, that was kind of the normal as of recently. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, I'll link that. It's not, nothing. None of these are really worth looking at. Poco, I'm not sure many people even know what that is. So, very interesting. Let's see here. I'll link everything down in the description box and keep y'all updated. I am gonna have to run, actually, and I'll link everything in the description box. We'll do, what's today? I was gonna do a giveaway today, but I'm gonna have to push it back to tomorrow. All right, no problem. All right, I gotta go. Okay, go. I will hit y'all up on the next one, and peace out.